Kaysan,
Alright. Keith!
what's good, man?
Keith, how's it going? Oh my god, it's so nice to like finally meet you. Wait, let me see if I can figure out my camera. I'm in a hotel right now. Streaming in a hotel is
Are
is
you?
it's not the easiest thing in the world. Hold on, let me see if I can figure this out. Microphone or no, I'm gonna do that. Let me do video capture device. 1 second. This figure. Turn on camera. We good?
Yup. What's up?
What's going on? Hold on, let me do reacting. No, that didn't work.
It's a nice hat. Is that green?
Thank you. Wait 1 second. Yeah, it's like a green. Hold on, it's a little messed up though. I just broke my mic too. Like my life is a disaster right now.
My goodness. So
What's
what's up?
going on though? How are you? It's so nice to finally meet you. You know, I'm really close with your son.
Yeah, I know. I've seen you, and I appreciate all you've done for him, helping him out and stuff like that. So
Vice versa, vice versa.
yeah.
That's like my bro.
So what's up?
So
What's
how? Oh yeah. So I mean, I heard you're giving out therapy sessions.
up?
Is that kind of what? Is that?
uh, it's yes. If somebody has a question and they want some help, that's what I'm here for. That's what would Keith do, right?
What would Keith do?
That's right.
By the way, how do you feel about Max's new hair?
It looks good. It looks
You
good.
like it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Supportive.
if it's him, I mean, it's his hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would I
No, I
have?
get it.
I mean, look, I wish I had some right now, but I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also balding too. That's part of a lot of the problem as well.
Is
Um,
that you're not mad about it, are you?
no, my dad's bald. Runs in the family. You can't,
Okay.
Max is gonna be bald probably in 15 years, right?
Well,
Maybe.
it depends. It's not it's supposed to be recessive gene, so he probably won't be.
Oh, from is that the grandfather?
Recessive meaning it's on the mother's side, and so
Mother's side,
yeah,
mother's
yeah, yeah.
side, mother's side.
So
Okay,
he'll probably
okay.
be all right. It may affect the hairline, but he'll probably have his hair more than
By the way, we
likely.
can go to. I already told him. Worst case, we can go to Turkey. Spend some money. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. Spend some money.
What
Get a
you don't
fix.
think you don't think you can sport the bald look, bruh?
Can you see me bald?
I can't see you
I mean,
bald
here.
because you got on a
I'll show
hat.
you where I'm at right now. I'll show you where I'm at with my hair right
Okay,
now. Okay. So like,
that's not bald, man.
but like, look at the corners. The corners are getting.
You know,
I'm fine.
because I think the bald. So to be honest, I think the balding starts from the back. So that's why I
Oh,
didn't.
so I'm not going bald.
It starts from the back. I mean, and so
Oh no, I'm good from the back.
and it
Pause.
and so
Um.
you'll probably be good.
Well, anyways, I don't want to keep too much of your time. I actually had like feel like I'm in a weird place in my life right now,
Okay,
and there's just been a lot going on. Like, and this can I've been reading a book called The Power of Now. Have you ever read that book before?
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it.
So like, I've been trying to teach myself to start living in the moment more, and also
Okay,
on top of that, what starts to happen to me is like it's just pretty strange, and like I'm being completely honest. So like my brain will start to like pick something and create a problem out of it. So like for example, like what's like a good example? Um like this isn't literal, but I'm gonna use this as an example.
okay.
Like let's say like I wanted to take a shower and I'm shampooing, my brain will tell me, "Oh my god, you have something above your hair." You start to panic. Or like if I go under a pool and like, you know what I'm saying? It's some weird mental things going on, and I'm just like, why is my brain always trying? And like for example, like even the thought of like wanting to do something different out of my comfort zone just makes me freak out. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like some weird.
Well, what's wrong with
You
being
get what I'm saying?
okay? But what's wrong with being uncomfortable?
Well, being uncomfortable mentally starts panic, and then panic starts anxiety, and anxiety starts thinking you can't even help yourself sometimes. And I went through a lot when I was younger, I always told myself life is 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you respond to it, right?
That's
And then
absolute. That's true.
and I believe that, but then sometimes I'd be going through these moments where I'm like, dude, it's like it overtakes you, and you start to just like it's like almost like, like I tell myself I've flown a million times, right? I literally live on a plane, but then maybe there's a time where I'm on a plane, I'm like, I feel trapped. Like, I feel trapped and there's no escape. Like
Hmm.
my brain starts to think like that, and I know that's not the right way of living or thinking.
Right, but you
But
can
why?
control your brain. So if you can't feel you can escape, find something you can escape to. So what if I had to say what would that place look like? So if you want to say, what would be your happy place where you could escape to when you start to feel like that?
That's the thing though, is I don't know. Like, I feel like playing video games is an escape for me. Reading is an escape for me.
Okay,
LA weather in general just is an escape for me. Like
okay.
it's weird. It's like little certain things, but then like
Hmm.
it's just weird because
So
like
create so when you start to get to that place, then you need to go. You need to when you get there or you're getting there, and then so that means you need to stop and breathe and go
which
to
I
that
do.
and go to that and go to that place.
But sometimes that place isn't so accessible. Sometimes I don't have that escape, and when I
What
do have that escape, then a new problem will exist in
well
that
everything
place.
is everything is you can go to that place in your mind. You can go to that place at any time. Just like
I
you go.
outsmart myself though. That's the problem, Keith. I'm too.
Mhm.
Sometimes I feel like I'm too. I overthink too much for myself, and I'm sure maybe there's people in here in my chat and your
Mhm.
chat who relate
Yeah.
to this. Like sometimes, like it just be like even things that have been an escape, you
Mhm.
just start to even overthink every little bit. Like it can't get off your mind. Then like don't get me wrong. I always believe like everything is gonna be okay always, but
Mhm.
like you just be catching yourself sometimes, and it's almost to the point where I don't even want an escape. I want to be like how I always used to be. Things that used to be normal don't become normal anymore, and it could be the most normal things. So it's like,
Well, I guess if that was the case, right,
right.
then you would stay where you are, and you haven't necessarily done that, correct?
Well, for example, I live on a plane. I travel everywhere I need to for work. I have to. So then why is all of a sudden the plane a terrible place to be for me? And that's because my brain's overworking. My brain's just over like it's like my
Well,
brain's trying
so
to start
so
fights.
here's so okay, and I'll tell you exactly the reason why is because you have not built any you're not built any break time in your day and also in your like in your daily routine.
You're saying like I'm working too much is what you're saying. In a
Yeah,
sense. What do you
all the
mean? What do you
time.
mean? What do you mean? No, but I still but well, I think my brain is working all the times, but I have times where I have time to myself. But the time to myself is also where you're most lonely and where you're like just like I say, like in a shower, like when you're flying, like that's the time you have most to yourself to think, right? And at a time where maybe that place
Well,
was a relaxing
well, you
place
can't
for
really
me.
think on the plane, right?
Well, I try to sleep.
Try
That's
to.
like my goal. Yeah.
No, I
Sometimes
mean,
successful,
no.
sometimes
There
failure.
needs to be a time where a place where you can go and you can meditate that kind of thinking and allow your brain to go. You ever heard of mindfulness? Have you ever heard of that?
Of course, I
Have
have.
you ever tried to work with a mindfulness coach?
No, I have not.
I think you should.
I think I should too.
Yeah,
I think
and
that's a
that will help you to train your mind to not think about stuff. Your brain's on overdrive probably all the time.
It is, and even when I meditate, look, I love meditating. I've
Hmm.
actually taught Max like a lot of meditation.
Hmm.
I because he's also somebody he was staying with me for a while in LA. Like I can always tell like he just always wants to work and do stuff, and he gets
Right.
stressed. So I always tell him I'm like just like I like what I do is I like to go outside, breathe cold air or whatever air it is, and just meditate and breathe, and it really does put me in a good state.
Yeah.
But again, I have my moments, and those moments are really strong moments, and
Right.
it's
The mindfulness will help because you don't necessarily need a space for that. You could do that
right.
in your mind, and it's like deep breathing. Like you should learn to take deep breaths, hold them, and then let them out. And you could do that on a plane. You could do that in the bathroom. You could do that wherever, and to bring down your pulse rate and those things. And I think a
Yeah.
coach might be a great way, at least to get you started.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just be like, dude, I went through so much, and I'm like, damn. I always tell myself I've like really endured a lot of crap, and then like when I
Do you journal?
no, I used to write. Well, I went to USC for literally journalism, and I graduated there,
Nice school
and
too.
um, yeah, it was also ridiculously expensive, but um, I would say like I used to write a lot when I was in college, and then
Hmm.
after I finished, I didn't really start writing anymore. Um, and I think writing helps. I think reading's the greatest thing ever. And even in that book I read, it tells you like you can't let your mind control you. You need to control your mind. But that's the
Hmm.
hard part
So
is
you know
getting
all the
myself
answers. So you know all the answers.
I know the problems and I think I know the solutions, but it's solving the equation. And
Well,
the equation I know is so simple.
you don't necessarily have to. You're not going to be able to solve everything. Just enjoy the journey. The enjoy the journey of trying to calm your mind. Trying and journaling. I mean, I think if you you journal your path and find something you appreciate daily, then you will start to relax a little more.
So you think writing is a good idea for me to start
Yeah,
doing? Like on my
I think it's a perfect idea.
and I'm just writing about my everyday life or what am I writing about? Anything
Uh,
that just is an
you
escape?
could write about what you appreciate in the day. Maybe you can decide to focus on something like what is going to be your intention for the day. Maybe if you have a actual design thing that you want to accomplish that day or every day, you won't feel like you are just running around in circles.
Yeah.
And then allow um, the allow nature, allow the environment to also speak to you. They may tell you, because I have a journal like that too that I use that
Right.
gives you what signs do you see that day to tell you maybe to move here or rest or that. There's things that you may overlook, a sign that you get each day and you overlook because you're just so busy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. So maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll just try not to overthink every little thing in my life. I think that's like the hardest thing for me. But um I'm sure you've obviously endured a lot of trials and tribulations and right, I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah, I mean, but I think I appreciate all that I've received. Um, and I'm sure, I mean, you probably have been through a lot, but you got a lot of
Yeah.
living. You got a lot of years
I
left.
put a lot
Yeah.
into perspective. Like
Yeah.
what like my version of what I've won a lot is probably another person's dream. So like I try not to compare though. I always tell everyone in life like it's never good to compare yourself to anybody because everyone's had their own journey. But I also try to put things in a perspective of like,
I
you
just
know,
I
how
think
grateful I should
I
be.
think if you appreciate all you've accomplished in such a short period of time, you'll feel differently.
Yeah.
And I think and
Yeah.
maybe the anxiety is you're like, okay, what am I going? Because how old are you, if you don't mind saying?
29, 29. They're gonna probably spam damn, but 29.
Yeah, I mean I knew that, but I wanted you to say. But
Okay, Keith.
so
Yeah.
so the
I'm 29.
so maybe what I'm saying is the anxiety is around you don't know what you want to do next.
I think I try to put a lot on my plate and do a million things at once. And I think like you know what it is? I don't like I know my problems, but sometimes I don't know the source. And the source could be literally with something that like I think is not the problem. And it's like I don't like relaxing and I don't like not working. So it's like you know what I'm saying?
So wait, so you know your problems. What are your problems? I mean, if you don't mind sharing, it's up to.
There's a lot of problems. I have a million problems to be honest. I have a lot of things that like for example, like things I used to love I don't love anymore. And that's just maybe growing up. and whatever the
Okay.
case may be. But like but then the new things I do are just like, dude, it's like I swear I could sit down and talk this for like about this for an hour. Like I really like don't know. Like for example, I used to love going out.
Okay.
Love. I used to be out 4 times a week. But I don't. By the way, I'm sober. I don't drink or do drugs. I've done nothing I haven't drank in over
I
5 years.
wasn't. Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't
But
assuming
I'm
that.
saying
Hmm.
no. But the point is like I've realized a lot of people's escapes are smoking weed, even vapes, anything that has to do
Hmm.
with something like that. I don't really have an escape. My escape is my meditation and my breathing.
Well, it's good.
So
Hmm.
it's good, but like I can see why people rely on things like that, which I never recommend to anybody. But for example, I go out. I used to go out all the time, and now I'm at the point where when I go to that place, I'm fucking miserable. Why am I miserable when I used to love the right? It's like
Cause
it's
you're,
I'm either like absolutely miserable
cause you're
or
older.
really happy.
Cause you're older.
No, but why am I absolutely miserable? And then I'll find things like I'll be in an Uber and I'm like losing my mind in the car because I'm like I want to get to you know what it is? I think I know what it is. I like to get to the destination so fast. For example, taking a shower and I'm washing my hair. I want it to be over with. The car ride, the plane ride. My brain is almost wired myself to the point where it's like I don't like the journey. I just want it to be the destination. And I think that's a big problem and
Hmm.
I don't know why I feel that way, and I don't know how to fix it because you
Do
can't
you,
really teach somebody
mhm.
to like the journey.
Do you like talking to people when you're on the plane?
No, I used to be an extremely social person, and now I'm a very by myself. You can ask Max. I'm a very like I like to be very alone,
You know why? Because you play too many video games, bro.
but I do and I don't. I play the video games because I enjoy them,
Okay.
and like I said, it's an escape for me. The video games
Okay.
is the escape, right?
Right, but
So,
you also you don't interact with people either.
but I used
Unless
to be the
unless
most
you're in,
interactive person. That changed because of this. Keith, when I tell you like
that
I was
changed
like
because of wait, what's this? What's this?
well, what I'm saying is what this is like essentially when I started to stream more
Okay.
and do other things. I'm saying over time the last year I started to like being alone way more. Like the reason why my
Hmm.
relationship failed, Keith, was because I used to like being alone so much. I've always been that way. I like to be alone. It just but then
Hmm.
at the same time I hate being alone. I love being alone and I hate being alone. It's really weird. And I used to be like before streaming and everything and even music, I used to be like a quote unquote like socialite like in LA. Like I used to be like the guy that was out putting
Right.
everything together, clubs, this and that,
Yep.
parties. It was me. So I'm always doing everything. I'm always talking to people. I used to love going to dinners. I used to love going to lunches. I used to
But
love just being
yeah, but
outside.
that back then when you had, but you were entertaining then. It's a difference,
Yes, I was entertaining,
right?
but
That
I
wasn't.
liked it.
But you liked it because yes, it can be intoxicating because
Yeah,
everyone gravitates towards you around it, but it's not real.
right. Yeah, it's not.
It's not real
But why do I like being so alone? Why do I like it? Like why do I panic when I'm
because
now
there's a
like go
there's a
ahead.
peace in that.
Right.
There's a peace in being alone, or and you can have both. You just there's a balance because you do need people. I mean that's a hierarchy of needs. You do need socialization. You do need community. You need all of that too. And it's just a matter of finding the community that I guess views you. And probably one of the things you probably don't, the reason why you don't like going out as much because then they want you to entertain. They expect the old Kaysan, not the new Kaysan.
But what if I'm not fond of the new Kaysan? Like that's that and why
Well,
does
you
the
just
new
said
Kaysan
you just said you like being alone. So you like the new
I
Kaysan.
do, but see the new Kaysan now when he goes to a club or a party or around a lot of people, he starts getting a full on anxiety attack. When I used to be able to be around that 24/7. Why? Like
But
why am I panicking?
there's nothing wrong with switching up. You don't. Maybe you just need to go to a more intimate place and hang out. Because clubs can be a little bit nerve wracking.
I'm a DJ though. It's part of my profession. Like again, I'm playing at the biggest club in Miami in a week, and like I have to like when I DJ, it's not a problem, but it's when I'm not.
Right. So you can
So
just go. You can
yeah,
just go to the club and when you DJ. You don't necessarily have to go to a club just to
I,
go.
but Keith, I want to solve the problems of why, like, there's a like I told you, I think a big reason is like I'm struggling with mentally with the journey, the little things in life that I used to appreciate, like again, washing my hair. That used to be relaxing. Now it makes me panic. I do it every day. I have to deal with it, but because I know something's on my head, I have to do that, right? Just like flying in a plane. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like I
Right.
know I have to sit here. I don't have the control of being able to get off the plane. The little things like that are things I used to always do, but now they make me panic. And even if I calm myself down and breathe, it's still an internal issue that I have to do every single time. I'm telling you, it's insane.
Well,
Like
you
how
have.
my brain.
I guess you will. So then you have the ability to meet with someone that you could talk to regularly, and I would probably
Maybe.
find that. I could find that person. Just maybe, and it may be just a few sessions. You may not necessarily need to talk to them for forever, but
Yeah.
it may be just a block that you have because yeah, well, the whole control thing. If you were a control person, I'm not sure if you were, and then those
Yeah.
now all of a sudden those things are beyond your control, and it may be just because right now maybe you're just not grounded. You said you're in a hotel right now, so you may just not be grounded in stable. You may be doing something completely new. I'm not sure, and maybe that also because of that it's causing a sense of anxiety.
Maybe I'm afraid. Yeah, maybe it's change. Maybe it's things
Yeah,
like that. And I'm a very big person on. I guess I like routine.
and yeah, I mean, and you can make that change whenever you feel like it.
This feels like Keith every day. Like literally, like my life right now is today is something new,
Yeah.
and then like that thing maybe gets solved, and then tomorrow's something
Well,
new.
yeah. Well, that can, and you could just find the fun in that. Don't worry. Don't lean into the uncomfortableness and just enjoy it for what it is, because it's not always going to be that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Keith. And also talking about it also just helps in general. So, this was very nice. This is very nice.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Sorry if I was yapping.
No, it's all good, man.
Sorry if I was
You can
yapping.
always check in, bro.
I will. I will. I'll bother your son too. And does he call you regularly?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, good.
He
'Cause if
does.
he doesn't, you let me know.
Okay.
I'll make sure I get on him.
All right.
I'll make sure I call him. All
Okay.
right,
Now.
Keith.
All right now.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate
Peace.
it again.
All right.
All right, take it
All right.
easy.
Later.
Later, man.
Well, there you go.